All right, and we're back. This is episode number 4 of the Unapologetic Podcast. We've taken a nice little, a little hiatus for the holidays.
Little Christmas vacation.
Little Christmas and New Year vacation. Spending time with the family because those are the things that matter most. So we're back at it. Episode number 4, Unapologetic Podcast. My name is Seuss. It's Robert, James. We are 3 best friends who talk about whatever we want.
Yep, band's back together. Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. Speaking of the new year, we wanted to kind of, we're into 2021 now. Finally out of that shit show that was 2020. Not necessarily saying that things are better, but always looking up, looking forward to this next year. We wanted to kind of recap 2020 individually, kind of just not necessarily individually, but just kind of giving a recap of everything that's going on, different perspectives, and shit like that. Right, Robert?
Yeah. What? Well, good thing we got editing, but...
That's the best part about it. No one will ever see this.
No, goddammit. I'm the one that edits this motherfucker. All right?
I'm sure that you got an editor. This guy.
I'm trying to do as little editing as possible.
I know.
I'm just saying, you're sitting like this and you're going to sound far away.
Well, I'm trying to lean forward, but I don't want to break my spine. You know what I mean?
Chill. I'm not sitting like this. I'm not breaking my spine.
Spine's going to get all curved.
Yeah, me either.
See, he's got his boom. I don't know how your boom's withholding that motherfucking mic. I really don't know. Okay.
It's heavy, right? Because it's so heavy.
It's super heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bravo. That fucking mic's, that boom's stronger than my relationship. Okay.
Robert, this is better.
Robert, how's 2020? How was 2020 for you?
How was 2020?
Give me from the.
What, you want like a rating or?
Sure. Give me a rating.
10 stars out of 20 or something.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if a rating is okay because what are you going to compare it to?
20 out of 20. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
So, how was 2020 for you?
Speaking for myself, like the way this year's affected me.
Yes.
Not as bad as everyone else has, I guess.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This year's been pretty good. I mean, the beginning of the year was kind of like the same as last year until, all that stuff happened. But
it's good.
But I don't know. It's been nice. I mean, I got a new truck.
Hell yeah. Robert got a new truck. Brand spanking new.
Oh yeah.
He was driving this his grandfather's old truck. It was like a huge 2500 Chevy.
Yeah, 2001.
And he drove it like it was a boat. And now he's in something much smaller, a nice Colorado. So
where is it? Where's the old one?
My grandpa's truck?
Yeah.
My dad has it.
Is he driving it?
Sometimes.
What happened to the other one, the Ford?
My dad still has it.
Oh. Does he drive that one too?
Yeah.
He only uses his dad's whipping all those motherfuckers.
My grandpa's truck is like a ranch truck now. Like from when my dad needs to go cut wood and...
Yeah, that kind of makes sense too. I mean, that's what it would be used for, haul stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I like it. I like that truck. It's got a lot of mileage on it.
What, Silverado?
I mean, literally and figuratively. Yeah.
But, so 2020, new truck.
I got a lot of,
that's it.
Different perspectives on how thinking of life and stuff like that,
What are you looking forward to in 2021?
I have no idea.
What do you want in 2021?
I don't know. Try to expand, try to...
Expand, what do you mean?
I mean, try to be more out there, I don't know, what's that word? Outgoing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to just automatically, leave my house every day or something like that. But gradually,
mm-hmm.
become more...
day by day.
Outgoing, yeah.
We want you, the goal is to get you down and dirty with a little birdie.
There you go.
By when, James?
That's my New Year's resolution.
No, by when.
Oh. By
set the date. Set the date. Set the goal. What's the goal? What goal date are we talking here?
January 3rd.
January. Jesus Christ, Robert. Today's the 2nd. I mean, what's today? This has been recorded previously on the 1st. I mean, before Christmas.
We're from the future.
Zip it in and zip it out. That's my warning for 2021. You think you had it bad before?
No.
Wow. Be careful because 2021 will bring nothing but destruction.
Oh my God.
I have foreseen this. That stupid one, like you see on those, like on Instagram, those stupid posts where it's like, man has photos of LA from the future. And it's all underwater.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It's like LA's underwater. I mean,
That's so stupid. I
It's
mean,
like time traveler from 2030.
it's like as if we didn't already know that.
You're like, that's where it's going anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna break off from the United States and just sink into the Pacific.
As it should. As it should. They're all moving here anyways. It's not like it matters.
That's true.
I think for myself, 2020, just like you, Robert, I don't. It didn't really affect me too much, and I'm actually really surprised, and I'm really thankful that I never got the you know what.
Yeah.
Only because my job does consist of being around people all the time, so I'm really thankful for that. I was able to spend a lot of time with my family, my kids, and Gabby more specifically, you know. So that's been great. I've had, like I said, my job. I haven't had any type of hiccups or work. It's been really consistent. So that's been good. It's actually been thriving. Believe it or not, this whole thing going on right now. I mean, shit, beer's been selling more than
Well, they gotta have something to do.
people. I mean, shit. It blows my mind, dude. It really blows my mind because they're like, when the whole thing started, they're like, oh, you can only buy, 2 gallons of milk per person, 2 cartons of egg per person, but have all the beer and fucking cigarettes you want.
Priority,
Take it
right?
all. It's crazy, right? It's like, what the fuck?
One of my favorite quotes is, and you know it,
Okay,
it's
tell me.
like, people drink when they're happy, people drink when they're sad. Alcohol's always in business.
Dude, it's always gonna be, and it's not slowing down anytime soon.
Oh no, God no.
Anytime soon. But that's why I asked you that question, because I know we all kind of have different perspectives on how 2020 kind of turned out for us. I had my ups and downs on, personal levels and stuff. I mean, but that's just every day. It's gonna be next year too, or this year, next year, this year, next year. Anyway, but 2020 was interesting, I guess, for other people. I know I had a lot of friends, even you, James, that were affected by it, because of your line of work and stuff like that. But it was definitely one that's gonna go down in the fucking books, man. So much shit happened, Um,
It kicked off with like World War III.
World War III, Kobe.
Kobe. Oh my God.
What else? The whole movement, the whole movement that went on, and
Well, what else happened? A lot of happened.
dude, a lot has happened, man. A lot.
Well, a big chunk of that was the whole Kobe, and then after that was the whole riots.
The
and
whole
stuff.
movement, yeah. That whole movement.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot. 2020 was a lot, and it's something that's gonna be remembered forever.
It was way too much condensed into one damn year.
Into 1 year, man. Into 1 year. But 2021, I wanted to say first and foremost, I'm so happy to be here, sitting down in this chair, in this room, our little makeshift studio.
That's perfect that you brought that up.
Okay, let me
That's what
finish
I've been wanting
first.
to talk
Okay,
about.
let me finish first.
Oh.
I forgot. In this makeshift studio. I already knew he was about to go off on his
I got excited because I forgot what I was going to say.
Go off on his
now
tangent. Reminded. Keep
and now you
repeating it in your
remember
head.
me. You remember me.
Repeating it in your
though.
head. Repeating
Or
it in your
reminded
head.
me.
I'm so excited. I had to. I love you. Don't forget.
Religion boy.
I'm so happy. It's the start. It's the start of 2021, and something that we talked about for so long, doing this podcast and also doing other things. I feel like this podcast and House of Games is like the kickoff for other things we're going to be doing in the future. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So grateful that I can start the year with you guys sitting here doing this. You know what I mean? Okay. And I'm the only thing I'm looking forward to is where the fuck we're gonna be this same exact time next year. Who knows what we're gonna be? I know there's gonna be hiccups, of course, but I mean, shit. My only thing is that I could think of is just obviously moving forward, and getting on to bigger and better things. But I wanted to say that. Also, obviously, also let me add, spend more time with my family, of course. Move up and with my career. and then also do a bunch of badass fucking shit with you guys. That's all I want. That's all I want. All right, James, go.
Okay, I'm just gonna add to that,
Okay,
and then I'll tell you what I was gonna tell you.
Okay, don't forget though.
Okay, I don't think people realize that, at least more often recently, the most time we spend together is on the podcast because we've all been so busy.
That's true.
You know?
That is true. Yeah, we all have full-time jobs. We all have full-time families. We all have our own responsibilities. We literally, the only time that we have together as of late has been this podcast. Whenever you hear us on this podcast, whenever you hear all the episodes that we've posted, it's literally us getting together for first time in that whole week. So everything you're hearing us, all the banter, everything back and forth, it's all like we're all kind of just touching base again and catching up for the whole week. That's literally what it is. So you're absolutely right.
And then we don't see each other till the
and
next.
And then we
one.
don't see each other till the next time we record. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And that's gonna be one thing that I don't want to say it's a resolution because I think those are fucking stupid. But I think one thing that I really want to do and is make a goal for this upcoming year, and not even this year, just maybe within the next couple months, is to really, really put aside time, really make the time to where we can actually get together and spend a whole day just creating. It could be the podcast. It could be House of Games. We could go from, doing the podcast to going and doing an episode of House of Games to then going and doing something for filming. Yeah. A whole day.
All of it.
That would be fun.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really want to make that happen. And I want all of us to, get super serious and be super committed and be consistent so that next year we're not sitting here. We're somewhere way better because of the amount of work we did. No, okay, James, thank you so much for letting us use your guest bedroom as our makeshift studio. But I'm saying we'll be somewhere better to where now, you can set this up for something else.
The other podcast?
The other podcast.
Other one?
Yeah.
Surprise, Robert. It's called The Robert Hour.
Oh my God.
It's just you talking by yourself.
No one else
here.
It's just you.
Just talking about what?
Whatever you want. Whatever's on your mind.
Oh my God.
Whatever you want to talk about, Robert. And you're naked.
And it's going to be ASMR, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, ASMR.
I have no experience with
NSFW ASMR.
What is that?
Not safe for work. Because you're going to be naked.
Oh.
Wait, well, does that even matter? They're listening to me, not seeing me.
Well, they're going to see you from the sounds you make.
Like super detailed about like how I look.
No, but not just that, but also like the moans and stuff.
No, God.
Yeah.
Moaning
but
and groaning.
You could be eating food. Nobody knows.
That's mukbang.
You could be eating really wet noodles or doing something else that nobody knows.
So they won't know if it's wet
noodles. It's up to them
or...
to figure it out.
Oh, God.
That's actually pretty cool. That's creative.
That's part of the excitement.
It's like,
what is that?
It's like, guess what Robert's doing?
Yeah.
And then they hear a noise, a slushing, slurping noise.
That should be a whole episode in itself, but maybe like a bit or something like that.
You could be doing anything. Robert, you know what's fucked up, dude? You'd have a lot of people tuning into that. I'd be one of them.
I'd be in there. I'd sign up for your premium Patreon subscription.
Man, that's going to be an OnlyFans.
Patreon. Yeah.
It's like, you're doing the podcast and you have your laptop up and you're over here like, you just hear slurping sounds and you hear, it's like, James Smith just donated $5,000.
Oh my God.
Courtesy of House of Games. Sponsored by House of Games.
And it's all coming out of our account. It's just like a revolving door.
It's like, wait, that's our money.
Right.
Like you got nothing from it. It's just for looks. What was I saying? Oh yeah, just create more time. That's something I want to do within these next couple months is set time aside so that we can create, so we can all be more serious, so that next year we are in better places and provided better opportunities, because opportunity only comes to those who create it.
Correct. And talking about creating opportunity.
Okay, dime.
And creating a more efficient workspace.
Dime.
We have this little office, right, set up for our podcast, but I think we talked about it a little bit, about moving the podcast downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So that I could set this back up to continue House of Games.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, too, we get more space, or more efficiently used space.
This is what I'd like to do.
Because the room downstairs is bigger than this one.
Right.
So it's easier to put all that. But
well, this is my thinking. I mean, we could do this is probably something that we could like talk on and on and on, like off the podcast. But, definitely having this room for a designated area,
Yeah.
and then we could do the podcast and House of Games downstairs, and just kind of have different angles. Like House of Games is recorded here, where the camera's on us, and then the podcast table's like over here or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. And then there's a bathroom in there too, so I can go piss whenever I want and not like interrupt. But yeah,
True.
Right?
True.
I don't know. It's more to think about because I want to have like a complete setup for how we do things and where we edit and where we work, and because that's what it is. Whenever I'm editing the podcast, I mean, it's fun. It's funny because I get to hear our fucking, except for the 20-year version. That's my most hated episode. I hate that fucking episode because I had to listen to it 10 times. But it's fun, because I listen to us and, I catch little things that, a lot of James's stuff that I don't pick up whenever we're like live. But
dude, there's more stuff today that you haven't caught yet.
Yeah.
So when you listen.
Right. See, so I'm going to listen to it later. I'm going to just be laughing my ass off. But it's fun. It's fun. And this is fun. This is something that's fun. Hopefully it's eventually become something more. But when I am editing and I'm having to focus and I have my headphones on, that's work.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally working. I'm using energy and trying to focus and doing this and like that. So,
also, like we talked about, if you're at a job and you're only part-time, are you going to get the promotion? Or is the guy putting in 40 hours plus?
Right.
And it's kind of that investment of what you put in is what you reap at the end.
Right. So it's, I come home, we all come home from our jobs and we do this. I come home from my job and it's like, boom, I'm going to edit, and it's because, I'm hungry.
And I'm thankful too that you're doing that because I'm not. And I don't think I have the time to do that anyways. And especially because I want to get House of Games going back and, going daily episodes again. Because I was doing in a month, in 30 days, I uploaded 27 episodes, I think.
I remember. Yeah. Almost an episode a day.
Yeah, you were knocking them out.
Yeah. And then I was doing a little series, right? Like we did the Mafia series. Did it, close it. Awesome. I still have a lot to do with Fable, and that's just the first one still. I'd like to go to the next couple ones, to play. But so that good that you're doing this because then I can do that.
Right, and also that's something too that I want all of us to do more. And I feel like this past couple weeks don't really count because we've been with family and I didn't want to think about the podcast. I didn't even go on YouTube or I didn't go on any of our accounts to look at streams or anything like that because it didn't matter to me these past couple weeks. But one thing I want us to all kind of do and be more serious about is creating content. All of us getting together and brainstorming. We don't have to record. We don't have to do anything, but just getting together, whether it be for lunch, dinner, whatever, and just brainstorming. That's one thing I want. I just want. I know we talked about this on the first episode, but I know just like both of you, you're really tired of kind of the same routine, the same thing every day, and then kind of only getting by. So I want to do everything I can, bust ass, work really hard, so that this time next year, we're not in the same position. We have other opportunities elsewhere. Not necessarily that we're going to leave what we're doing now, but just that more opportunities created so that we have other means.
Yeah, we're further ahead.
Exactly. Like one thing I told myself and I told Gabby is like, I want to take a 10-year plan and try to cram it in 6 months. Now, am I going to get it accomplished in 6 months? Absolutely not. Right. But I'm going to be a lot further than I would originally have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that right there is credit to the great Elon Musk.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's like one of his that's like his advice is to take a 10-year plan, cram it into 6 months, and you'll be a lot further than you were originally.
That's true.
Makes sense. But that's what I want for 2021. Sky's the limit. It's cliche as that sounds, but
I think resolutions have been much more realistic this year too, from what I've heard from other people, because it's different.
Definitely different. I feel like this whole thing that happened was a huge eye opener for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it grounded so many people.
There's a lot of self growth,
right,
because of it too.
Oh, right. I feel like it's helped me a lot. It's crazy because and I know that for a lot of people out there, it's been really rough. It's been really hard. But this year has been really great. There's been no other year where I've been able to really spend the amount of time that I have with my family. Uh, and I feel like this year has really helped me mature and grow and see things and be more grateful for things. And I just, I tried to look at the whole year. I tried to look at it like, glass half full. As shitty as it was, and shitty, so many shitty situations for different people. But I really tried to keep, stay as optimistic as I could be. And so far, I mean, it's went really well. Gabby and I are stronger than ever. My relationship with my kids is obviously Sammy. He lives with me, and we have like a really strong bond. But with my other boys, it's been really great. So
2020, not fun for me.
So I guess let's touch on that a little bit, James. 2020. Give me your recap.
Started off amazing. I mean, granted, I just closed my restaurant, but it was okay because I had just gotten, the position here in town. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to drive 45 minutes to and 45 minutes back every day to a place that was like losing money. So I was like, all right, finally, I can regroup. Done it. Now it's time to do it again, eventually. So it was, but I wasn't sad at all. I mean, I was a little bit, but I was optimistic because it was time to move forward, right, and do the next thing. And now I was making money because I was, working here. So that was good. Relationship was good. Was good. And then it wasn't. I'm like, what the fuck? Right after.
Man, I remember whenever you came knocking on my door. Well, remember because it happened once before.
Yeah, like early in the relationship.
Time,
yeah,
like a brief time it happened. I remember you came to me and obviously you were really tore up about it. And we went for a drive and we spoke about it, and that was that. And then this next time you came to me, it was different because you, not necessarily saying that you didn't care, but I feel like you were just able to handle it a little better, which was weird because you didn't even see it coming. Like, you literally, you walked up and you knocked on my door, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" You're like, "Oh, hey." You're like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah, she left me. I was like,
just dropped it like that.
I was like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." And he brought out the pinky, and I was like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No fucking way." And we were talking. So we have this thing, and I mean, it might sound a little stupid to you, but I don't give a fuck. So how long have we been doing this?
As long as I can remember.
As long as I can remember. It's been forever. So we have this thing where, because, okay, let me give you a little rundown. James, like 90% of the time, he's full of shit. So, like, he'll like say something, and I'm like, oh damn, like I'll believe him because he's so convincing.
Yeah.
And then like he'll go through this whole like fucking rant.
He'll make up this whole story,
and it's good. It's vivid.
Believable.
Yeah, it's very believable. And then at the very end, once he's got me, he's like, I'm just fucking with you.
He's like, nah.
And so he's like the boy who cried wolf. I can't believe him for anything. I have to like Google it. And so when he comes to me about something serious and it sounds like outlandish and he tells me at first, I won't believe him. I'll be like, oh, you're full of shit. But we have this thing with like pinky promises. It's weird. It's so weird. But if he pulls out the pinky to like give me like do a pinky promise, like that's how I know that he's for real.
Mm-hmm. Like
for real. And not just him, like any of us. Like that's how we really get each other's attention. Like if it's a serious thing. It's so weird when we think about it. And it just must have been something from when we were kids, but it's like a super serious thing.
Yeah. And at that point, you can't, there's no lie.
Right.
No lie.
Right.
Yeah.
From that point on, it's fucking dead serious.
Yeah.
Like all the jokes and all that shit go out the window. Like it's time to fucking really, figure out what's going on. But anyway, yeah. So you came to my door and you were like, basically telling me that she just straight up was leaving.
Yeah. After like a year and a half being together. Now, granted, that's not a lot of time in different relationships, sure, whatever. But like we were living together now. We were talking about our futures together, like about kids and growing old and all this stuff, you know? And even talking about, you know, getting a house and stuff. And we were, you know, we had all planned about doing a cruise double date kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was really sudden because we just celebrated like our Valentine's dinner a night or two before, which was late because we were both working during that time, but we cooked, you know, had a good time. And then all of a sudden, I have this letter I'm coming home to, and she's sitting there. She gives me the letter. She didn't talk to me. I'm like, oh man, okay. And like my whole everything, like I felt drunk immediately because the whole room was spinning.
Kind of just spinned around.
Yeah.
Like before you read the letter or after?
As I was reading it.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then we drove around for a little bit talking. And that was kind of it for the night. I didn't know what else to do. So I slept downstairs. You know? And I was like, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to go to the details of the letter or everything, you know,
but
publicly. But the stuff, I was like, well, maybe there was something else to it. Maybe whatever. So, but man, I gave it 100% the whole time, you know? So I was like, that's what made it even more difficult because there was nothing to fix. I couldn't fix it.
Right, like it was already done.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know what to do because I've done everything. And it wasn't like I was making mistakes or we had bad parts in our relationship and then we'd get through it after an argument. That didn't exist.
You know, it was crazy. It was shocking for me, dude, because you've been in relationships and this past one was probably the one that I was most familiar with.
Yeah.
So, you know, just kind of seeing y'all's living arrangement and how y'all spoke to each other, y'all's like chemistry and stuff like that. What's shitty about this is that this was probably like a week or two before it all happened. I was sitting in the living room and I was just kind of like, and like having like a moment, you know, where I was just sitting down and I'm just staring at all their shit, you know, all this, you know, decor and stuff that's mainly from him. And, you know, just kind of, they each kind of had like a touch of something, you know, around the room. And I remember telling him, like, damn, dude, I'm like, you and Addison are like fucking meant for each other. Like, y'all have like y'all like fit each other so well. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, y'all fit each other so fucking well. And then a week later that happened.
God. Yeah, it was crazy because I was so like, we do. I'm so happy about it.
It was nuts. Nobody saw it coming. Yeah.
Nobody except her, I guess.
Yeah, right. Deer in headlights, man.
Yeah. And I haven't talked to her since because then a week later, after she gave the news of her decision, she moved out while I was working.
I just dipped, man.
Yeah. Like, I get that if it didn't, you know, certain things were in motion that couldn't change for either of us. Okay, fine. Like, you know, that's forgiven because can't do anything about it. But the way she did it, that's what's messed up, you know? And to treat me like I was a stranger, you know?
Yeah.
Or like a bad person. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you know me. We've been together. You know me better than anyone else here in town. Because we started talking the day she moved into Fredericksburg, like all the way from Connecticut. And then that was it from there. It was just the both of us. And yeah, and then I was just torn because then my grandma got sick about the exact same time. And then we all shut down from the Schmashmendrick.
Yeah, that.
Right, for like a month and a half.
You've definitely, and that's why I was saying earlier, you know, Robert and I haven't really been affected with...
Because technically we're essential workers.
Right.
Because everybody needs beer and everybody needs sausage.
Everybody needs that Robert's chorizo. So, or salchicha, that's what it is, right?
Oh, salchichas.
So Robert and I, obviously, we weren't really that affected, but James, he's had one hell of a fucking year.
Yeah.
Hell of a year. I will say though, okay, the first half was shit. The first half was shit, but from then up until maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, boy, you were running through them.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah,
don't be coy.
Yeah.
You were running through some.
All the stories he just told me, I was like, God damn.
You had a good second half. The first half, the odds were against you. The second half, you came back from that upset.
The house always wins.
So that second half, you can't say you weren't having a good time. You were having a good time.
You know what? I didn't feel lonely, because I did feel lonely for a while.
And I know that that's something that, I mean, I can obviously imagine that you were feeling after that whole thing, is that's that feeling of loneliness, abandonment. So whenever you were doing that whole thing where you were, going through your, hoe phase, let's just call it what it is.
Okay.
I understand why you had to do it, why you were doing all that. It wasn't obviously for any type of like sentimental reasons or anything like that. You just needed that companionship. And boy, did you get it. Boy, did you get it.
Little old May? Yeah. I hadn't thought of it that way. It was abandonment. That is what I felt. That's perfect. That's a perfect word to sum it up. I don't think about it like that
Like
until
a puppy
you
left on
just
the
said
road.
it, and it all made sense now.
That's what it was, man.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I mean,
Ugh.
but now, I look at you and, these past 6 months, you've been doing so much better.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good ass job. You're in a good ass position. You have a nice ass place. You handle your own shit. You don't have kids
That I know of.
that you know of. And I mean shit. I mean shit.
Me?
I mean
Excuse
shit. I mean shit, man. You're doing really well. You've come a long way from the beginning of the year. I feel like you started 2020, obviously on a bad note, but dude, you're ending it on a fucking high ass note, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're
really
fucking
good note.
you're going into 2021 like on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I feel like what you went through and what you're going through now is just fucking, I don't even know what to call it. It's like, it's just something that I feel like everybody needs to experience.
Go through?
Yeah. Like you hit fucking rock bottom. You know what I mean? Rock bottom. I saw you at your lowest fucking point, and now you're fucking over here soaring high, and
It's no place to go but up.
in a whole nother situation with somebody, that's really fucking cool. So I don't want to call it situation. I'll call it relationship.
Like
I don't want it to sound bad, because it's not.
Right. Yeah, 2020 started off, if I were to give it a full, just, few sentences recap.
Yeah.
I was losing money, closed the restaurant, doing good with my relationship, then devastated by that. My grandma, who again means a lot to me, got sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then my job that I started making money in, it was also stressful. And then I lost that because we were closed. Of course, I knew I was coming back to that. But that was fine, because the silver lining there was that time we were closed, I spent more time with my little brothers. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Work started back up. And, yeah, I had, I guess, companionship, if you want to call it that.
He was a hoe. He was a hoe ass.
His whole face.
But
running through everything.
But work was getting better. I was not lonely anymore. And then I met Genesis. Things have been going really well, of course, to this point, So the relationship became better than I could have expected. And then at least for like a month, my income tripled. For like a month. Do you remember that? I was like, dude, I don't know what to do with this money. And then
this motherfucker, I would be like on my break, and he's like, hey, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, no, man, I can't. Like, I got a budget this week. He's like, nah, I got you. He's like, I got you. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, I guess. And then we go. And then the next day, he's like, hey, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, dude, we went yesterday. He's like, I got you. I got you.
All the time.
I'm like, James, I'm like, you need to. I'm like.
And I still had more money that I hadn't spent after all my other expenses. I go considerably more. And I was like, what the hell? So now that I haven't done that because I fired my bartender and I had to pick up the slack. And now I haven't had that money. I only had it for that month, only a taste of it. And, it, you know, with all my other income, and I'm like, I need more, you know?
Oh my God.
So hopefully, you know, with certain management out of the picture and me stepping up into the role with the GM, like that's it. It's him and me rocking the show.
Rocking and rolling.
And like we both respect each other equally.
You guys kind of work really well together.
Yeah. So whatever I say, like recommend, he usually goes with that. And whatever, you know, he'll ask me to do anything, whatever, I got it. He wants to go home early sometimes to be with his family. I'll close up the restaurant. I manage the front while he's in the kitchen. It's easy, you know. So it's been really good.
Yeah.
So work has just skyrocketed in terms of happiness there. The relationship thing, super happy.
Yeah, and I really like Sega. She's dope as fuck.
Yeah, she's really
Sega
cool.
Genesis.
I've only met her a couple times, but the few times,
hell of an impression.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's why we're going in such a good direction forward together, and I'm really happy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like you said, it's ended on a really good note.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
No, man, I've seen it. You know, I've been with you every step of the way of this whole year, and you made it. You made it. I know there was times where you probably thought you weren't.
Yeah,
but God damn it, did you fucking make it?
Oh, yeah, you did.
And you know, we all did. 2020 was a motherfucker.
We're still standing,
and we are still standing. 2020, you know, fuck you.
Yeah, and people are like, well, the year's over, but that doesn't change things. It's just a construct. I'm like, yeah, but still, it's a milestone that we went a whole year with what happened.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know?
See, and that's what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. It's like, man, we were able to get through all this bullshit. Like, I'm gonna fucking kick 2021's ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If everything gets taken care of and things cool down, and it's almost like I'm at the gate and I'm ready. I'm waiting for the gates to open so I can fucking just do more. You know, right now it's still kind of like restricted because there's obviously limitations everywhere.
Yeah.
But as soon as that like subsides, dude, it's like fucking it's free game. Blow. You know what I mean? It's fucking just free game.
Blow out of the cage.
Blow away, Robert.
I like we're not in November still, Robert.
Yeah. But I'm glad we were able to get together and kind of just share a little bit, kind of, what is it called? Just reminisce.
Yeah.
On you know, for better or for worse.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
On 2020. Yeah. We all made it. We all had our hardships, some of us more than others.
Okay.
But we did it. We're here. I'm happy that, you know, we were all able to maintain our friendship through such a crazy year and do this. And then obviously, sorry, I have allergies.
Sorry.
You know, create more, do more, you know, create more opportunities for all three of us, you know, together, and, you know, just create an empire. And what are we going to call it, James, the empire?
HBO's Empire.
Okay.
Never mind.
Say it.
I don't know.
What is it?
Okay. I don't know it.
I'm just glad that we were able to all be here at the very end and the beginning of the year together, and to look forward to and work towards more opportunities for us and our families, because that's all we want is just, you know, health and wealth, and not necessarily, you know, in any type of materialistic aspect, but
money.
Just kind of being able to provide opportunity for all of us. So
and provide for our family.
We appreciate all of you that listen. We appreciate you know, everybody who supports the podcast and just the work that we're gonna do. If y'all haven't had a chance yet to go check out the previous 3 episodes, you can check them out on YouTube, and that's gonna be the Unapologetic Podcast on YouTube. So be sure to go there, share, subscribe, comment. You can check us out on Instagram. I haven't created a Facebook page yet just because I just haven't got to it yet. I don't have any other excuses, but check us out on Instagram, and that's going to be Unapologetic PC. Give us a follow, comment, send me a message, send us a message. We will respond, I promise. But thanks again. This is the 4th episode of the Unapologetic Podcast. It's your boy Seuss, Jamie, Roboito. Thank y'all for listening.
See you later, fuckers.